Pass over using.
The rest of the class, by the way. Yes. Let's continue since. Yes. All right, we're going to continue now. So you have we're competitors now. So the marketing concept says that to be successful, a company must provide greater customer value and satisfaction than its competitors do. Thus, marketers must do more than simply adapt to the needs of target consumers. They also must gain strategic advantage by positioning their offerings strongly against competitors' offerings in the minds of consumers. Right. You know, seeing a competitive marketing strategy is best for all companies. Each firm should consider its own size and industry position compared to those of its competitors. Large firms with dominant positions in an industry can use certain strategies that smaller firms can't afford to use. All right. We'll look at Publix now, the next microenvironment, which is Publix. Publix now, any group that has, so Publix, any group that has an actual or potential interest in or impact on an organization, on an organization's ability to achieve its objectives. That is Publix. All right. Financial publics now. We'll look at different types of publics. We'll look at financial publics first. So publics now are any group that has an actual or potential interest in or impact on an organization's ability to achieve its objectives. All right? All right, so first look at financial publics. This group influences the company's ability to obtain funds, banks, investment analysis, and the stockholders are the major financial publics. All right. Media publics now. This group carries news, features, and editorial opinion. It includes, so media publics include, examples of media publics are newspapers, magazines, television, stations, and blogs. And other internet media. So media publics now are groups that carries news, features, and editorial opinion. It includes newspapers, magazines, television stations, and blogs and other internet media. Then you have government publics now. Management must take government developments into account. Marketers must often consult the company's lawyers on issues of product safety, truth in advertising, and other matters. All right. They are citizen action publics now. So a company's marketing decision may be questioned by consumer organizations. A company's marketing decisions may be questioned by consumer organizations, environmental groups, and others. Its public relations department can help it stay in touch with consumer and citizen groups. Again, a company's marketing decision may be questioned by consumer organizations, environmental groups, minority groups, and others. Its public relations department can help it stay in touch with consumer and citizen groups. All right. Local publics now. This group includes neighborhood residents and before going further, citizen action groups would include, for example, Jamaicans for Justice, and also public defender. Also, I don't know. There are some communities in Jamaica who have neighborhood watch. A neighborhood watch would be a public citizen action group. All right, because they can communicate. If you're going to put a business, you might have to communicate with in a particular community, you might have to speak with the person in charge of the neighborhood watch or the neighborhood or the person in the community through the neighborhood watch to get permission to do it as well. Because they might fight against it, so to speak. All right? Local publics now. This group includes neighborhood residents and community organizations. So I said it a while ago. All right. An example of citizen action groups could be NEPA. My apologies. Local publics now are like neighborhood watches. My apologies. This group includes neighborhood residents and community environment organizations, large companies. So neighborhood watches now would fall under the local publics. Right? Who that know? Here's a class, Father God. 8 out of 15. You can't go so. All right. So large companies usually create departments and programs that deal with local community issues and provide community support as well. All right. Next, look at general publics. These are the last two. A company needs to be concerned about the general public's attitude toward its products and services. The public's image of the company affects its buying. What it means is that if the company don't have a good public image, then consumers won't want to buy from your company. So a company needs to be concerned about the general public's attitude towards products and services and activities. All right? Internal publics now, this group includes workers, managers, volunteers, and board of directors. Large companies use newsletters and other means to inform and motivate their internal publics. All right. And we're going to look at the next one, which is we're going to look at our this is our last microenvironment actor, which are customers that are very important. Now customers are the most important actors in the company's microenvironment. The aim of the entire value delivery network is to serve target customers and create strong relationships with them. The company might target any or all 5 types of customer markets. And these are, first one is consumer markets. Consumer markets consist of individuals and households that buy goods and services for personal consumption. Again, consumer markets consist of individuals and households that buy goods and services for personal consumption. Business markets now buy goods and services for further purchasing or use in their production processes. Business markets buy goods and services for what? Further processing or use in their production processes. Government markets now consist of government agencies that buy goods and services to produce public services or transfer the goods and services to others who need them. All right, look at international markets now. So we have some again. So customers are the most important actors in the company's microenvironment. The aim of the entire value delivery network is to serve target customers and create strong relationships with them. The company might target any or all 5 types of customer markets. All right. And they include consumer markets, which consists of individuals and households that buy goods and services for personal consumption. Business markets buy goods and services for further processing or use in their production processes. Government markets now consist of government agencies that buy goods and services to produce public services or transfer the goods and services to others who need them. Then we look at international markets. International markets now consist of these buyers in other countries, including consumers, producers, resellers, and governments. All right. Now we're going to look at the macro environment now. The macro environment consists of the larger societal forces that affect the microenvironment, including demographic, economic, natural, technological, political, and cultural forces. Now, if we look at each of them in detail now. Demography is a study of human populations in terms of size, density, location, age, gender, race, occupation, and other statistics. Again, demography is a study of human populations in terms of size, density, location, age, gender, race, occupation, and other statistics. The demographic environment is of major interest to marketers because it involves people and people make up markets. The world population is growing at an explosive rate. Changes in the world demographic environment have major implications for business. Right? The US population contains several generational groups. You have baby boomers, Generation X, and you have the millennials. The baby boomers now are the post-World War II baby boom produced 78 million baby boomers who were born between 1946 and 1964. So baby boomers are born between what? 1946 and 1964. Those people most of these people are your grandparents. No, sorry. I should say great grandparents. No, yeah, grandparents. Grandparents, great grand. Can't be grand or great grand. Right now. Over the years though, the baby boomers have been one of the most powerful forces shaping the marketing environment. Why? Because them own the big businesses, they own the big businesses now, and so forth. Right? The youngest boomers are now in their mid-40s. As a past information. The youngest boomers now are in their mid-50s. Pretty much, right? Yeah, mid-50s. 50, 2040. So mid-50s. The oldest are in their 70s and approaching retirement. And then some of them retire already. Then you have Generation X now. The baby boomers was followed by a birth dearth, creating another generation of 49 million people born between 1965 and 1976. Author Douglas Copeland calls them Generation X because they lie in the shadow of the boomers and lack obvious distinguishing characteristics. The Generation Xers now are defined as much by their shared experiences as by their age. Increasing parental divorce rates and higher employment for their mothers made them the first generation of latchkey kids. Latchkey mean out of wedlock. Although they seek success, they are less materialistic. They prize experience, not acquisition. All right, which is a good thing. Now we look at the millennials now. The millennials, all of us, including myself, and those, all of you in the class, we are all millennials. All right? Millennials now, both the baby boomers and the Generation Xers will one day be passing the reins to the millennials, also called Generation Y, or the Echo boomers. Born between 1977 and 2000, these children, should be 2000s, these children of the baby boomers number 83 million, dwarfing the Generation Xers and larger even than the baby boomer segment. This group includes several age cohorts. Tweens, which are ages 10 to 12, teens, 30 to 18, and young adults, 19 to 33, with total purchasing power of more than 733 billion. The millennials are a huge and attractive market. One thing that all the millennials have in common is their utter fluency and comfort with digital technology. They don't just embrace technology, it's a way of life for them or for us. The millennials were the first generation to grow up in a world filled with computers, cell phones, satellite, TV, iPods, and online social networks. Then, so we have looked at demography a while ago, and demography is the what? Is a study of human population in terms of size, density, location, age, gender, race, occupation, and other statistics. Right? So we'll look at economy now. The economic environment, economic markets require buying power as well as people. The economic environment consists of economic factors that affect consumer purchasing power and spending patterns. Again, economic environment consists of economic factors that affect consumer purchasing power and spending patterns. Marketers must pay close attention to major trends and consumer spending patterns, both across and within their world markets. All right. Nations vary greatly in their levels and distribution of income. Some countries have industrial economies which constitute rich markets for many different kinds of goods. At the other extreme are subsistence economies. They consume most of their own agricultural and industrial output and offer few market opportunities. In between are developing economies that can offer outstanding marketing opportunities for the right kinds of products. So some countries have industrial economies, which constitute rich markets for many different kinds of goods. At the other end, they have extremely have subsistence economies. They consume most of their own agricultural and industrial output and offer a few market opportunities. And in between are the one developing economies which are economies that can offer outstanding marketing opportunities for the right kinds of products. We are running out of time. 9 minutes left. Please re-log in when the time is expired again. And that will be your last re-log in. Please re-log in when the time is expired. Please make sure. All right, economic factors can have a dramatic effect on consumer spending and buying behavior. For example, until fairly recently, American consumers spent freely, fueled by income growth, a booming stock market, rapid increases in housing values, and other economic good fortunes. Marketers should pay attention to income distribution as well as income levels. Right? Over the past several decades, the rich have grown richer, the middle class has shrunk, and the poor have remained poor. Changes in major economic variables such as income, cost of living, interest rates, and savings and borrowing patterns have a large impact on the marketplace. Why? Because if persons don't have any money, they can't buy goods that you are marketing or offering. Good. So marketers must pay attention to what? Major trends and consumer spending patterns both across and within their world markets. So you have to check to see what persons are buying. And if they're not buying the product, no need marketing it or creating it. Right? Now, changes in major economic variables such as income, cost of living, interest rates, and savings and borrowing patterns have a large impact on the marketplace. Companies watch these variables by using economic forecasting. Businesses do not have to be wiped out by an economic downturn or caught short in a boom. Right? So, in the macro environment, I look at demographic, economic. Now we'll look at the natural environment. All right? The natural environment now involves the natural resources that are needed as inputs by marketers or that are affected by marketing activities. Meaning, um, um, resources that needed are like, for example, you need water, rain, sunshine. You need if you're a restaurant and you're grown for, you need yam, pumpkin, banana, rasheen. Those are natural resources or natural inputs. Right? Good. And when you talk about affected by marketing activities now, if you're marketing, you have to ensure that the whatever your business is doing don't impact the environment negatively. All right, good. All right, environmental concerns now have grown steadily over the past 3 decades. All right, in many cities around the world, air and water pollution have reached dangerous levels. Environmental concerns have grown steadily over the past 3 decades in many cities around the world, air and water pollution have reached dangerous levels. World concern continues to mount about the possibilities of global warming, and many environmentalists fear that we soon will be buried in our own trash. Now, currently, everybody is fearing COVID-19, all of us. And that is an environmental problem as well. but because it can be airborne. All right. So world concern continues to mount about the possibility of global warming, and many environmentalists fear that we soon will be buried in ashes. Marketers should be aware of several trends in the natural environment. The first involves the growing shortages of raw materials, right? A second environmental trend is increased pollution. Industry will almost always damage the quality of the natural environment. Always. All right. A third trend is increased government intervention in natural resource management. The governments of different countries vary in their concern and efforts to promote a clean environment. All right. So the first trend is what? Growing shortages of raw materials. The second environmental trend is increased pollution, and industrial always all damage the quality of natural environment. You have cement and all these things are industries, right? All damage. The third trend is increased government intervention. The governments of different countries vary in their concern and efforts to promote a clean environment. So we have that demographic, economic, and natural. We look at technological. No? Now, please relog in as soon as possible so we can finish technological. All right. So relog in as soon as possible. Relog